Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for checking in. So it appears that On3 has come through and they provided me with the right flange for the turbo that I have. I'm going to show it to you right now. Right here, this is exactly what I needed. As you can see, it fits perfectly flush, and on the inside, it is also flush all around the circumference. It is the correct interlocking clamp. Undo the clamp just so I can show you. Kind of hard to do it one-handed, but what the fuck was that? Alright, so you can see that there is a lip here, and it falls in with the female end, and it locks perfectly. Doesn't allow for lateral movement. It's a nice stainless steel flange, and the surfaces pretty much line up seamlessly, and the clamp goes on nice. So now I can continue building the pipe just about here, and the downpipe clamp is a full 3 inches. If I undo this, I can show you. The downpipe outer lip. The downpipe outer lip diameter is also perfectly smooth. There is no male or female interlock, but the downpipe flange is larger than the inside diameter of the turbo, so there is no bottleneck. The exhaust gases will flow smoothly out the exhaust, and this will allow me to commence my up pipe and crossover tube build. Alright, so this right here is an exhaust pipe expander. Basically, it would go into your exhaust tube. You turn this shaft over here with an impact gun, and it would pull these two outer cones closer together, therefore expanding these fingers. Here is one with everything taken apart. You'll see the O-rings. You'll see the middle section. I call these fingers. I don't know what they're really called, but I took it all apart because basically I was exerting so much torque on this shaft. It stripped the threads right out of this nut that's on top, and it would go in here. You turn it, it comes together, expands everything like I mentioned. This nut basically stripped the threads out. As soon as I backed it off, you'll see like the threads come apart and everything, and you can also see hairline cracks here. I don't know if this will focus. Yeah, you'll see hairline cracks everywhere. So basically, I gotta go to Home Depot and find one of these nuts. Hopefully I'll find it in like grade 10 or 12 or something like that, and it'll prevent that from happening. And another note, because I am not going with a fuel cell, I'm going with an in-tank Walbro 450. I'm gonna use a stock tank, and the stock SC tank is kind of a weird one. I'm gonna show you. It's also really freaking heavy. Alright, so basically, you'll see 3 openings. Here, here, and here. I believe the fuel pump sending unit is in this port. The fuel level is in here, and this is a vent. I get confused. I don't know the terminology. I don't know if the sending unit means it is the level, and the pump is just the pump, or the sending unit means, yeah, whatever. But basically, that's all 3, and there are no tubes coming out. Except for the vent, and the tubes happen to be on the bottom. Right here. Because these banjo fittings are very strange, no one makes an AN conversion for this. And there's also these retaining holes here where a pin goes through and the banjo goes in its place. I have to weld this now, and as you may know, welding a gas tank is extremely dangerous. Any sort of residual fumes can cause this tank to explode. So, I have to wash it out with soapy water. I have to let the fumes air out, light it on fire to make sure there are no fumes to catch on fire or explode, and then I can weld these shut. So, I'm gonna wash out the tank now. I didn't make it very clear as to why I was welding those banjo holes shut. Basically, at the top of the tank, over here, I'm gonna drill 2 holes. One is going to be a feed, one's going to be a return. And I'm going to run the AN fittings all the way to the front. So it's going to be braided fittings, it's going to be AN fittings, braided fuel line, all the way to the top, and that way those holes at the bottom no longer need to be used, and I don't have to struggle with ghetto rigging it or finding those AN fittings. Alright, so this is the level sensor. Right here. This one's the vent. Here is that sending unit. There's 3 more 10 millimeters, and the sending unit somewhere inside should come out. Alright, here it is in all its glory. We've got the fuel pump sock, the fuel pump, the wires. If any of you guys know what this thing is, let me know. It's kind of weird. So we've got a ground going straight to the bracket. We've got a power wire that goes here. And the wire coming out of this this chip, I don't know what it's called, if it's MOSFET, I don't know. I know nothing about electronics, so please correct me. It goes to the same power wire. Interesting. As you can see, there is a little bit of fuel inside. There's a bunch of baffles. Gotta rinse this bitch out with water. Cool thing with the filler neck is that it's got a little flap trap door over here. And another good thing about this is no one can actually siphon your fuel. So if they try to stick a hose down or a tube, it kind of just gets stuck here. Unless they get a really skinny tube and it happens to snake around this, then yes, they can siphon your gas. But then the flow rate would be incredibly slow and they wouldn't get much done. So yeah, that's a filler neck. And I guess this is a vent, so as you're adding fuel, the air gets displaced through here, and that way it doesn't trigger the pump to sort of kick off. Alright, so here's the latex glove. I'm going to cut the fingers off it. I only need 3. And if you get what I'm driving at, this is just to plug the holes temporarily. So that as I fill it with water, sorry for the wind, as I fill it with water, nothing comes out the bottom. It's not a perfect seal, but it does its job for like a half hour. It's gonna be nasty soapy water in there anyway. Gasoline was nasty too. It's like, oh, watch, it's like yellow. It's like lacquer. Oh, sick. Alright, so then I just take some of my mom's dishwasher detergent. Let's pour some in. Sorry, Mom. Alright, so it did not pass the sniff test, so it's going to have to pass the test of time. It's going to leave it outside, but first I might let it dry out with, you know what, I'm just going to leave it outside, and then over the course of a few weeks, all the fumes would have evaporated, and then I'm gonna do another cleaning, and then I'm gonna hook up my vacuum cleaner in reverse for a few hours, let everything go out, and make sure that there is no residual smell of gas. And then I'm gonna have some newspaper. I'll shove it in there, light the newspaper, run, and see if anything ignites. And if not, it's good to weld. Alright guys, last clip of the night. Here is the crossover tubes. This is the flex section installed. It's 2 1/4 all the way. This is going to expand to a 2 3/4, and then it's going to go into the turbo. So the crossover tubes are done. In the end, after everything is welded up, I'm going to heat wrap it, and well, that's actually a long-term goal. First, I'm going to start it up and make sure it doesn't leak anywhere. And once I verified the pipes are all sealed, I will then heat wrap it. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. Have a good night.